Hi everyone, and welcome to the 2020 Summer Pop-Ups. I'm Sherry Lewin, and I'm the founder and president of Thrive Claremont, and we're happy to have you with us here today. Thrive Claremont is a 501c3 charitable nonprofit. Our mission is empowering teens to succeed, and we do that by providing opportunities for skill building, socialization, and leadership training. One of the opportunities is our Summer PopUps Series. This is our fourth year holding the series and our first year doing so virtually. So we hope you have a great time and we're glad you're with us. Board member who's here tonight as our special guest, Diana Bagley, introduce our instructor. Diana is in the title industry and which is real estate. You can ask a question in chat if you have a question about what title people do, but she is also one of our board members, and she is the co-chair for the adulting series. So she's the one that's helping to organize the workshops that will be taking place this fall, and she's here to introduce Kristine Walsworth. So Diana.
Thank you very much, Sherry. Hi, you guys. I know I've met most of you. I'm looking forward to meeting the rest. Please encourage your friends to join the TAC. We're losing some very strong seniors this year, so we need the help. I'm proud to introduce to you Kristine Walsworth, who I just have met electronically and found out that we were raised very close to each other and that her husband went to high school with my daughter. So she is a former Thrive board member who again teaches at Montverde Academy. So you Montverde students, I want you to behave. She's a published author. They have 2 children, and take it away, Kristine.
All right, well, thank you so much. I'm glad everybody is here tonight to do some writing together and do a few activities related to that. As Diana said, I am an English teacher. I've taught at all the high schools in Lake County, and now I teach at Montverde Academy. So I've been at all of your schools, except for those of you who are at home. I haven't been at your school, so there's that. But tonight we're going to talk a little bit about why you're here and maybe what you're looking forward to, and then do some activities to spark some creativity in your writing and do some different things related to that. So I am going to share my screen now, and so we can take a look. All right. So of course, Montverde Academy, like every other school in the nation, spent Q4 online, but I spent it on Microsoft Teams. So I'm really good at Microsoft Teams. Zoom, not so sure. So we're going to get this going together. But I am going to get it where I can see maybe the chat. Maybe Jordan, you can help me. If I am screen sharing, can I see the chat also? I don't know. All right.
You should be able to see chat. It shows up at the top instead of the bottom.
Got it. I found it, you little chat monster. All right, cool. So since we are virtual and it's hard to have sort of conversations on virtual, I'm going to rely on our chat room a little bit when I ask you to share some different things. So if you came into this summer pop-up with something specific in mind, like, oh, I'm going to take that summer pop-up about creative writing because I've been working on this poem. I'm thinking about this short story. I want to write a screenplay. I don't know. Pop over to the chat and say, hi, this is, well, I'll be able to see you, but this is what you've been thinking about. If you took this pop-up because you're thinking, hey, I kind of like creative writing, but I'm not sure what it's all about. Like, how do you even get started doing that? So that's fine too. Absolutely. We're going to do that tonight. And you can put that in the chat as well. So while I am changing slides, pop over to the chat, you guys, and tell me a little bit about what you're looking forward to tonight. Hopefully we have a couple of those coming in. So while you're doing that, As Diana mentioned, and as I mentioned, I am an English teacher at Montverde Academy. A couple of summers ago, I decided that these ideas that I had rolling around in my mind about writing some children's books, I was going to make them come to fruition. And so I researched and I worked with some new programs on Adobe, and I finally self-published 2 children's books. One is still up there, one is not, on the Kindle platform, as part of a series that, you know, is still in my mind, called The Adventures of Luke and Olivia. And as I was writing, I found that in terms of children's books, kind of my sweet spot is like 6, 7, 8-year-olds. So that 2nd, 3rd grade move. That's it. That seems to be a place where I'm comfortable writing, and where, you know, that seems to be my writing level, checking that writing level. That seems to be it. So those are still sort of mulling around in my brain. But my other current project, in addition to like full-time teaching English, is that I have embarked upon being a travel blogger. So that's a really different thing from writing children's books. And I think that's great. You know, you don't have to be stuck in one genre, for sure. The chat is blowing up. I love it. Fantastic. The creative part. Yep. We are going to do some of those creative activities that we are going to do together, and you can totally transfer them to whatever you'd like to do. Writing essays. Yeah, totally. You know, when I was your age, back when I rode my dinosaur to school, then, right? You know, nonfiction was super boring. If you said nonfiction, I was like, ugh, a textbook. Ugh, it's so dry and dusty, I could die. But now, really since maybe the 2000s, maybe the late 1990s, creative nonfiction is such a thing. You know, if you are writing nonfiction, if you are writing about something that you have researched, if you're travel blogging, if you're blogging, lifestyle blogging, it's not going to be a textbook. It's got to be creative and engaging, or you're not going to have an audience. So that's it. You know, essays are really an exciting thing. There are tons of bloggers who are essay writers about whatever their expertise or their passion is. So that's awesome. More creative writers, enhancing skills. Awesome. Okay. Like that crazy little owl. I liked him. Found him today. So we are going to start with a very creative activity first. And that is called Ecrastic Writing. So Ecrastic actually is a word that I've only known for a couple years. I think the older I get, the more words I realize I don't know. Even though I know tons of words. So ekphrastic is usually a response to a work of art, either real or imagined. And it can be a description of that work of art, but the description can be like straight up visual, but it can also be, you know, what is the emotional response that you have to this piece of art? What does it make you think about? How do you connect it? Because that is what art's all about, no matter what kind of art it is, whether it's paintings or sculpture or writing. The most impactful art is that with which an audience can connect. So today, we are going to write some partner ekphrastic sonnets. So don't be scared by that sonnet word, right? Because when you see the word sonnet, I'm going to guess that you think about Shakespeare, or if you are really a British lit reader, maybe even like John Milton or the Italian Petrarch, and that all seems very scary and lots of stuff. Today, the only thing we're talking about is the fact that a sonnet is going to be a 14-line poem. There are rules about sonnets if you're writing Shakespearean, or if you're writing Italian, or if you're writing English, and we are not abiding by any of those rules today, people. It is summertime. We're not doing rules. The only thing we're doing is that it's 14 lines. So I think that we have 6 of us. We have Chantal, Logan, Seth, Ishan, Cadence, and Jacob. Have we added anyone else to our group?
Yes. We have Bethany.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And Fiona?
Fiona.
Okay. Fantastic. All right, so I am going to put you in pairs, actually. And this is going to be tricky, but this is definitely going to be also where we're going to make good use of our chat room here, because you will be writing this sonnet sort of blindly, but in pairs blindly. So first, here are your partnerships. So Chantal, you are going to be partners with Jacob. Okay. And in fact, Bethany, I'm going to have you be partners with Fiona. Logan, I'm going to have you be partners with Ishan. And Seth, I would love it if you would be a partner with Cadence. Okay. So those are your partners. Hopefully you wrote them down. You won't forget. Hopefully I won't forget. So in a moment, I'm going to show you 4 different works of art. And in the chat, then decide with your partner what work of art you are going to choose. And once you've chosen your work of art, then you're going to hang out and wait for me for a moment, because I'm going to give you a few more directions, and I'm going to direct your writing from there. So does anyone need their partner again? If you do, unmute for a second and ask me, and I will tell you. Please, please. No, we're good? Okay, cool. So here are your paintings. Can you see the painting on the lower right?
You can move.
Oh, I can move the block. Okay, is that better? Okay, so you have 4 paintings here. So what I would like you to do in the chat, perhaps the partner I named first. So that would be Chantal, Bethany, Logan, and Cadence. Pop on there and say, I think we should do this painting, the red one, or the one of the road, or the one of the people at the cafe, or the one of the little boy at the window. So you have 60 seconds. Figure out with your partner which painting you are going to address with your Ecrastic sonnet. To prepare for our sonnet, so our first partners, so that's Chantal, Bethany, Logan, and Chantal, Bethany, Logan, and Seth. On your paper or on your screen or whatever you have in front of you, you are going to number your paper in odd numbers, 1 to 13. So I'm going to go back for a moment, maybe. Yeah. So those first people, Chantal, Bethany, Seth, and Logan, you're going to number your paper 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. And then my other partners, so that will be Jacob, Fiona, Ishan, and Cadence. You are going to number your paper 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Okay? So get those numbers on your paper, because that will matter when we are putting our sonnets together. All right. So what we're going to do an Ecrastic sonnet, actually without talking about it, we're just going to take a little bit of time and write one line at a time. So our first partners, you are going to write the introductory line to this sonnet. Remember, there aren't any rules about rhythm or rhyme scheme or anything like that, but we need an opening line. So I'm going to give each person, each line, so for each 14 lines, we're going to have about 30 to 60 seconds. So let me grab my little timer here. For real, 30 to 60 seconds. So our first partners, line number 1, get that opening line of your poem in relation to this painting going, starting now. Partner number 2, you don't know what your partner wrote for opening line number 1, but you're looking at the same painting. What would a second line of a poem about this painting sound like? What would it talk about? Okay, same thing. You've got about 45 seconds. Let's write the second line of that poem right next to number 2 on your paper. Here we go. All right, 2 lines down. Hi, Emily. We're writing poems about these paintings that we see, 14-line poems, so I'm going back and forth with some partners, but if you would like to just creatively respond to one of these poems, you can join us in that writing for sure. All right, so we are on line 3 of our 14-line poem, so back to partner number 1. What is line 3 going to continue to say about this painting? 45 seconds, here we go. All right, line 3, got it done. Line 4, back to partners number 2. Now we're moving for this poem. What's the next thing that's going on? 45 seconds, here we go. All right, 4 lines down. Just a few more to go, right? Line 5, back to partner number 2, or back to partner number 1, excuse me. So if you know anything about sonnets, sometimes they are in groups of 4, 3 groups of 4, and then 1 group of 2 at the end, a rhyming couplet. Rhyming not so much, couplet maybe. So if you're feeling like you're going to change up what you've been talking about, you could change it up here. It'd be a good place. If you're still going, keep on keeping on. We got 45 seconds for this next line. Here we go. All right, line 6, we're in the groove now. Here we go, 45 seconds. All right, line 7, right? We're halfway through the poem. What's going on halfway through this poem? How is the poem moving? How are you feeling about it? Let's go line 7, back to partners number 1, 45 seconds. Here we go. All right, now to line 8. 45 seconds, last 45 second mark. Back to partner number 2. Keep on keeping on. All right. So now we're deep in this, right? We're back to partner number 1. We're going to take it down to 30 seconds each for our final 6 lines. So partner number 1, line 9, 30 seconds. Here we go. All right. Pop over to partner number 2. Here we go with line 10. Keep on going. Here, 30 seconds. All right. Back to partner number 1 for line 11. We're almost there. 30 seconds. All right. Back to partner number 2, line 12. 30 seconds for you also. Here we go. All right. So we have 2 lines left, right? Partner number 1 has line 13. Partner number 2 has line 14. This is your last chance. What are the last lines that this poem is saying to you, that you're speaking about, the last emotions that you want to share about this poem? Here's your chance. So partner number 1, 30 seconds for you. All right. And partner number 2, let's write the last line of this poem. All right. Good job, guys. So obviously I can't see what you wrote, but I'm going to hear it in just a moment. And it might seem super weird to be writing a poem. You can't even see the person you're writing with. They don't know what you wrote. You don't know what they wrote. But it's been my experience that when you're working with that one piece of art, that there's a lot more connectivity than you might actually anticipate. So I am going to ask you, of course, to share these sonnets with us. So to do this, I think probably our move is if both partners, when I call you, if you'll both unmute, and then we will just read back and forth. And it will help probably because we are not, face to face. It will help if you say your line number first. It takes away a little from the artistic value, but whatever, it's fine. We'll be fine. So when you're reading your line, if you say 1, read your line.
Kristine, before we get started, one of the things that I completely missed on the opening is to share with everybody down at the bottom of your bar, there's a little reactions button, and you can choose to give a thumbs up or a clap.
Ooh.
So
cool.
If the people that are listening want to react, like with a little clap, see how it shows up on my square? Logan, you can give us a little clap so everybody can see. If you guys find that button, yeah, there you go. So you can respond to the lines.
Outstanding.
Excellent.
Outstanding. So in my classes, whenever someone does something that we think is cool or makes a comment that we think is particularly deep or thoughtful or resonates with us, we're big about clicking. So we're going to take those claps as clicks today for you. So I'm going to put the older kids on the spot first here. So Chantal and Jacob, if you would unmute, and Chantal, if you want to start us out, remind us what painting you were responding to, and then just take it away, guys.
So we were writing a sonnet about the painting in the upper right, the field with the sky. So my line 1 is, the sun is glinting on the grass, turning forest green to surprising yellow. Do I give all my lines, and then does Jacob give all his lines, or are we going to do it in order?
We're actually going to go number by number. So we'll start with your beautiful line, and then Jacob will chime in with line 2, and then it will come back to you for line 3.
Okay.
Cool. All right. She gave you a good start, Jacob. Go ahead.
2, the light follows the path.
3, the grass looks warm, so inviting and cozy.
4, what's bright on the ground reflects dark.
But the sky looks cold, foreboding.
6, what could lie at the end of the path.
7, its blues are almost black, and there are glints of red.
8, where sky meets earth.
9, but as the colors sink in, something seems to change.
10, I wonder if you will join me.
11, it seems more peaceful, less foreboding.
12, or will you lose sight before the end.
13, so much like the grass, yet it appears so different.
14, can you walk with me?
Oh, great job, you guys. And I'm always amazed, Jacob started talking about darkness, and Chantal started talking about darkness, and then it changed to light, and then a person appeared. I love that. Excellent work. Awesome. Thanks for starting us out so strong, guys. I appreciate that. All right. So Bethany and Fiona, are you still with us?